Notorious serial killer Karla Homolka has changed her name to Leanne Teal, and the Ontario Solicitor General is planning to introduce new legislation that will ban registered sex offenders from doing just that. Adam Atkinson breaks down some of the other proposed changes to Christopher's Law.
Christopher's Law, or Ontario's Sex Offender Registry, was first introduced in 2001, 13 years after 11-year-old Christopher Stephenson was abducted and killed by a known sex offender. Today, Ontario Solicitor General Michael Kerzner introduced proposed changes to the legislation.
There is growing concern, especially among law enforcement, that the Ontario Sex Offender Registry needs to be updated to respond to advancements in technology, including social media, which has become the recruitment tool of choice for human traffickers.
The proposed changes include requiring sex offenders to report to a police service within a prescribed period after being ordered to serve a conditional sentence, mandating sex offenders to report to a police service within a prescribed period after receiving a passport or driver's license, requiring offenders to report when they are starting to use or make changes to email addresses, social media usernames, and other digital identifiers, adding new strict travel notification requirements as well. And on top of those changes, the Ford government will also look to prevent sex offenders from legally changing their names in Ontario.
But sadly, those who have committed those heinous acts, the most vile crimes against our most vulnerable people, our children, they're still at liberty to make application to change their names. And a new name provides a fresh start for these criminals. So for context, this will stop the Karla Homolkas of the world from becoming Leanne Teal.
People who do these crimes are predators, and so they're very smart. This doesn't sort of come by where it just sort of happens. They've really thought about this. So I think whatever we can do to sort of limit their scope is really important.
Sylvia Sampson with Sexual Assault and Violence Intervention Services in Halton says social media has become a dangerous tool in the hands of sex offenders.
You hear, the whole thing of catfishing, where people think they're actually, dating somebody online who's not that case at all. And we're seeing that a lot with, because we offer a 24/7 crisis line, and we have survivors calling in where a lot of that contact, especially when you're a little bit younger, 16 and over, or even younger than 16, where that sort of recruitment started happening is through social media.
As of September, there were over 14,000 registered sex offenders on the Ontario Sex Offender Registry with active reporting obligations. These proposed changes still have to be introduced and passed at Queen's Park.